Hey guys, Luna here, and we are back with the testing chamber. Hopefully, we can actually be able to finish it today, but I will be quite frank, I don't know how long exactly this game is going to take, since it's a lot of people seem to have finished it within 2 hours, some more, but it seemed like the general consensus is 2 hours, so let's just see how long we can go and see how it finishes. So, let's begin. So let's go. What gifts litter the table before you? Each box looks pristinely wrapped, yet caked with dirt and blood. Unopened presents and gift wrap boxes litter the table. Each of them feel nearly weightless, as if all of the boxes are empty. Battered and old yet neatly folded blankets stretch on the table. They're warm to the touch in an otherwise cold room. Oh, journaling. Oh, I don't like how the side is blue. You ever heard voices in your head? I mean, my own thoughts, so yes. Do you have a habit of starting projects and not finishing them? Yes, I have a few recording things I have yet to finish. Did you say that gets sick easily? Definitely not. Do you feel like things end poorly for you even when they've been going well right up until the end? Sometimes. Do you ever feel like life has been disappointing? Do you ever consider yourself to be a disappointment? Do you ever feel tired, drained, and like you wish you could just sleep forever? Sometimes have difficulty going to sleep or even staying asleep. Yes. Do you ever wish you could be more productive? Do you ever suffer from intrusive thoughts that you just can't seem to flush out of your mind? Would you say that you've experienced many strained friendships or relationships in your lifetime? I've had one or two, but that's just normal. Have you ever felt like you're drawn toward people in life who aren't just good for you? There's definitely a few people I've wondered why I've gotten close to, so... Have you ever felt like you were living an unhealthy lifestyle? Have you ever just wish that things could be different? Yes. Another page of the journal. Twinkling light radiates from a crystalline object on the floor. It sits among a pile of pulled teeth. What would you like to do? The object. Inside the water basin, what appears to be a drowned fetus. Stagnant and unmoving, the umbilical cord is still attached and hanging over the side of the basin. I thought that was just clothes or something. Look at him. It's... that's just... I just see clocks small. And so the clock just stopped at 2:22. Bleeding eyes, blood-soaked thighs, innocent cries, Dolly dies. Morbid sin, look within, next of kin, begin again. There's a blood-soaked coin underneath its dress. butterfly flutters near you, its wings begin to sparkle. Wings. Move forward now, you'll be proud of yourself tomorrow. If you don't, you'll just feel like you do today, except worse, because you'll be one more day behind. Make yourself proud. No, believe it or not, butterfly wings are mighty versatile, Wanderer. You can do many things with them. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Potatoes. Small ritualistic altar rests on the dirty floor, coins among candles, all surrounding the picture in the mirror. Among the coins, you notice that there's one in particular that's only half a coin. What would you like to do? Blood of money. Ooh. A metallic sting of iron stings your nostrils. You hear the clanking of coins in the distance, and you catch a glimmer of something in the shadows out of the corner of your eye. And this one saves. Mysterious altar stands before you. Upon the altar rests a tattered diary. First page seems to be ripped out. Parchment material used in this diary seems familiar. Perhaps the missing page could be reconstructed if one can find enough pieces. An onyx stone figure rests in front of you. Here you have space for something at the base of the statue. What would you like to do? A dusty clock sits on the wall. Dried candle wax coats the hands within the clock case. The hands of the clock seem to have stopped on 333. Flames you. Pentagram symbol. The wings. Carnival of Lilies. Life isn't about who you used to be. We were all someone else once. We were all someone else once. If we want it badly enough, we can be someone different tomorrow too. Say, Wanderer, did you know that the center of a butterfly's nervous system is at the I don't even know how to pronounce that. Subesophageal ganglion, and it's located at the butterfly's thorax, not its head. No, I don't know what the hell that means, but if you say it with enough confidence, people think you're really smart. Remember that lesson, Wanderer. I guess let's do the journal. You ever have dreams that you could swear are real? Yes, actually. In the past, when you felt positive or happy, have you ever had an immediate sense of negativity that just sucks all of your happiness away instantly? Yes. If you're camping alone in the woods at night and you heard a woman scream, would you investigate? I know I shouldn't, but instinctively I probably would. If you were alone in your home at night and suddenly heard the sound of children laughing, yet no one was to be found, would you continue to stay in your home for the night? No. If you were camping in the woods alone and something kept unzipping your tent, yet you couldn't seem to figure out what it was, would you continue to stay in the woods? No. If by your neighbor putting a dead body in the trunk of the car, would you attempt to stop them? No, probably not. I don't know what I would do. If you were driving home at night and saw a naked woman on the side of the road covered in blood, would you stop to help? I would stop and crack open my window to see what was happening. If you were fast asleep in your bed only to be awakened by an unseen force grabbing you and shaking you violently, would you attempt to go back to sleep once it was over? Heck no. If you were in an empty grocery store and a strange man appeared and suddenly started speaking, would you turn and run? All these questions are familiar from one of the other games that I played. If it's not on my channel, or it's not one of the previous videos, then it's probably on one of the ones that I didn't record. Because context of the questions. If you were home alone and sitting in the bathtub when suddenly the lights turned off in the bathroom and the door began to unlock and slowly swing open to reveal no one was there, would you get dressed and leave your house immediately? What's in the bathtub? Yeah, probably. You had to resort to cannibalism in order to die. I don't think I could, but you're stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Do you think you could survive long enough to be rescued? Probably. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to burn to death? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a morbid person? One final question remains on the page. It's in bold and outlined in red. Are you satisfied? Yes. It's really what it comes down into, isn't it, Wanderer? Are you satisfied? Satisfaction isn't the death of desire, you know? I'm curious. This items. How many? There might. These items. 18 pages. I'm guessing there's 20 total. Oh, maybe not. I mean, series also stands before you. It's a diary. You begin to piece together each torn journal page that you collected from the previous rooms to form a full page in the diary. Final entry. Empty sky leaves our prayers in vain. A solemn swear through darkened window panes. We confess our sins of flesh and blood, for we buried deep and swept away by flood. Our ashes carried in the midnight wind, a bitter vow we wish we could rescind, a fallacy of hope to raise our spirits high, for we are dropped below and left there to die. As appraisal of worth judged by our peers, a sign of affection as they wipe our tears, they bottle our blood and drink our sweats to build a future we don't deserve to get. And if the fires come to claim us all, the few brave souls that refuse to fall will echo through the walls of eternity. Their future vast, but lowly won't rise to see. We chase the demons of the past to build a kingdom that will never last. Upon sweat and tears and blood and bone, we build a new place to call our home. Signed, the Madman. Oh, that's very poetic of you, Madman. I can't speed it up or anything. Let it just go up. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough petals. Thinking like, because I missed one or two petals and then one or two butterflies. As it glimmers, it reveals a damaged child underneath. What do you do? Take it. Gloves me. Wooden grave marker tethered with ropes is before you. What would you like to do? You rest greed. Greed is a hungry mouth with an insatiable appetite for more. The absence of satisfaction for what one has, they will crave and they will continue to eat until they dug their own graves of their teeth. In peace, greed. Massive golden chalice filled with a brim with golden coins rests on the floor. On further inspection, there appears to be an indentation at the base of the chalice, as if it has been moved from its original location. It is quite light considering how large and full it is. One chest that rests before you, locked and chained shut. Handprints carved in inside the chest along with a set of words. 2 words are as follows. Future and present. What would you like to do? Contents of the chest are yours for the taking. You require the crystal ball. You like what you see, Wanderer. Or perhaps you're afraid of what you might see when you gaze a bit deeper. Okay. Place the large golden chalice at the base of the statue. The gold coins within the chalice quickly melt and turn to blood, overflowing and spill onto the floor. The blood forms a symbol on the ground before you. The chalice runneth over with blood and money. A single coin is left of the chalice, unmelted and undamaged. It's unlike the others that it sat amongst and floats to the surface, carried by the steady flow of blood. Like a wisdom token. Noted. Yeah, there's a pentagram on the ground. The stone statue of a veiled woman stands tall before you. A bloody coin rests between your fingers. What would you like to do? Your voice echoed in your mind. Courage is not being fearless, for there is no courage with the absence of fear. Courage is being afraid yet acting anyway. Are you a courageous soul? Navigation room. You think you hear what sounds like someone flipping through pages in a heavy tone. You can't quite figure out where it's coming from, and you don't see anyone else in the room. The game has been saved. One half of the noose rests on the table. The rope has been severed from the loop. One half of the noose rests on the table. The loop has been severed from the rope. No dusty clock sits on the wall. The piece of rope is wrapped around the outside of the clock. The hand of the clock is frozen on 444. Any noose sits all around the neck of the butterfly. It's just as important to be grateful for all the things we have as it is to be grateful for all the things we don't have. You're getting closer, Wanderer. Can you feel it? I can feel you. Wooden grave marker tethered with rope sits before you. What do you want to do? Here rests pride. Pride will always come before the fall, and will always create long distance between two close people. Pride seeks to break us from the inside, but I assure you, no one has ever choked from swallowing their pride. Peace, pride. Two words are as followed: knowledge and power. What you like to do? Pain on the chest breaks with loud muttered clank. Contests of the chest are yours for the taking. With knowledge. It's interesting that you make that choice, Wanderer, especially considering how they're essentially the same thing. No stone plaque sits pressed against the wall. Chiseling has been lost to the test of time. You can't quite make out what it was once meant to read. Blood-soaked journal sits atop the wooden table. There's a long list of questions with blank spaces for the answers to be written. Lonely answers. You feel a darkness inside you. Yes. Have you ever felt like you were destined for more than where life has taken you? No. Have you ever been so afraid of the future that you just stopped trying to progress? No. Have you ever considered that you might have a fear of failure? Yes. Have you ever considered that you might have a fear of success? No. Do you value honesty above all else? Yes. Do you have a set of morals that others might consider questionable? Probably. You follow your own moral code? Yes. Do you believe that standing for what you believe in sometimes means standing alone? Yes. Are you afraid of where your life may take you in the next several years? Yes. Are you suffering inside right now? No. Do you ever wish that your words would fall onto ears that weren't so deaf? Yes. Do you ever feel like no one listens to you? Yes. Do you ever feel like you can understand others quite well, but others cannot understand you? Yes. Are you afraid of the unknown? Yes. Are you afraid of running out of time as your life comes to an end before you manage to accomplish all of the things you wish to accomplish? Yes. Are you afraid of surviving while your loved ones perish? No. Do you have a fear of abandonment? Yes. Do you carry around a lot of heartache from your past? Yes. Do you harbor resentment for others who have done you wrong? Yes. Would you say that you have some regrets in life? Yes. Everyone does. If you could do it all over again, would you do anything differently? Yes. Are you proud of who you become? That's not entirely no. Do you feel like your choices and circumstances in life have made you who you are? Yes. Do you wish you could have been treated more fairly by others in the past? Yes. Do you strive to treat others better than you might have been treated? Yes. Do you ever wish that you could help more people? Yeah. You sometimes wish you could more easily help for yourself. Yes. Do you look forward to where life may take you? Yeah. I mean, like, as much as I fear the future, I'm excited where it might take me, so. Do you ever feel like you aren't living up to your full potential? Yes. If you knew that following your dreams would end in certain success, would you do whatever it takes to pursue them and achieve them? You could travel into the past or future but never return to the present. Would you do it? Yeah. Have you made peace with your past? Yes, as much as I want to change some things. Yeah, I'm happy with where I am now, so. Are you afraid what conflict might arise in the future? No. If you could work twice as much as you do now and reap twice the amounts of benefits from doing so, would you do it? Yes. Sleep is, like, as much as I love sleep. You ever wish that you could be forgiven for the wrong you've done? Yes. Do you sometimes blame yourself even when things might not be your fault? Do you feel that others place the blame on you more often than they should? Mentally, yes, but in actuality, probably not. So would you enjoy an entire month of solitude with no communication with the outside world? I feel like as much as I would love that, I would probably lose my mind. Do you wish your life turned out differently thus far? Yes. Are you proud of what you managed to accomplish? Yes. Do you feel like you could have accomplished more than what you already have thus far? Have you ever felt like you're wasting your potential in life? Do you ever get the sense that you have a hidden talent or undiscovered potential just waiting to break free? Yes. Have you ever felt like there's something special and unique about you that you just can't place your finger on? Have you ever a difficult time trusting others? As much as I wish I did, I don't. Do you ever get the sense that your mind works differently from others? Have you ever wanted to make other people happier than the world has made you? If I told you that everything is going to be okay, would you believe me? No. Final page of entry, there's a small token between pages. Some token. In the back of the journal, there seems to be one final question hidden away. If there is a set of switches on the wall, each of them with a color and a number designated to them, but not an indicator as to what the switches did, which switch would you choose to split? Okay, another petal. Appears to be attached to a long, greenish-brown stem. What should you do? Go through the door. Upon a rotting house. The smell of mold fills the chamber you now reside in, unlike any that you've experienced before. There's an unmistakable abundant dampness and exuberant amount of humidity that hangs heavy in this room. To add to the already overwhelming amount of discomfort that this chamber brings, the sound of water constantly dripping from the ceiling and walls is enough to drive someone mad if given enough time. Game has been saved. Various cobweb cake crates of raw and moldy ingredients rest on the kitchen floor. This crate seems to contain an odd mix of carrots and peppers. Old iron stove sits in the corner. It's fairly filthy, but well kept in terms of remaining intact and unbroken. Above the old stove, it contains a wall full of iron pots, pans, and various cooking utensils. Interestingly enough, the cooking utensils appear to be unused and in good condition, if not a bit. Various copper cakes were this crate contains salt-preserved fish heads that have not been kept properly. The sink that sits against the wall is rusty and filthy. A sour stench rises from the drain and mixes with the smell of hanging garlic and herbs from the wall above. This crate seems to contain cabbage. Spiders have made their home between the leaves. An old crusty, stale, and hardened bread sits on the countertop. Small jars of viscous liquid rest next to the bread. Various cobweb This crate seems to contain mixed grains. A tattered piece of parchment hangs on the wall containing ripped recipes for various meals. Below the parchment rests a butcher's block coated in blood. A old dusty clock sits on the wall. Hands of the clock have stopped on the and frozen on 555. An old painting of dark figures standing in front of a castle sits on the wall. The figures in the painting are faceless, yet you can feel them watching you as you gaze upon them. An ash smudge map of lands you've never seen or heard of before rests on the wall. Nothing about the lands or travel routes seem familiar to you. Broken glass with chunks of flesh and heaps of blood rests on the old splintered oak table. Cobwebs cling to the stools resting around the table, and the legs of the chair seem to be chewed apart by some small critter adding to their degradation. Butterfly. Wings of the butterfly appear to be rotting and festering. Like the wings. You don't drown by falling into deep waters. You drown by staying there and refusing to swim. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, wanderer. It's more like, heavy is the heart that wears the crown. An unworldly king sits alone at a decrepit wooden table, lost in deep thought. He pays no attention to you as you approach. Yet he mumbles quietly to himself just loud enough for you to make a few words. The king eyes searching for something on your person, inspecting you down. He turns your head for a brief moment before speaking. You don't have enough petals to be worth my time, unworthy of my breath. Need petals. You wish an audience with the king, bring me more. When you're feeling pain, take the time to ponder what's hurting, why it's hurting, what have you done to deserve it, and how you're going to got in the position you're in. Life is trying to teach you a very valuable lesson. You'll be forced to relearn this lesson over and over again if you don't take the time to learn it properly the first time. Yeah, so... yeah, I missed 1 or 2 crystalline petals, so I missed 1 or 2 butterflies as well. So... perhaps one of you guys who are watching this can tell me what it was. Fire crackling in the distance and feel the warmth of its flames provides. The room smells clean and pure enough as though it's been well maintained and actively lived in. A statue of an unholy figure stands tall before you. It radiates dark energy and emits a great heat from within its molten belly. What would you like to do? Your dark voice echoing the walls of your mind. Come this far. Take a good hard look in the mirror. You deserve to know the truth. You've earned your reflection. Pay tribute, and you'll get exactly what you deserve. Where a tapestry hangs on the wall, it's obviously seen better. There doesn't seem to be anything abnormal about this critter. What would you like to do? Take a moment away from the pain to smile now, my friend. If you only knew what life had in store for you, you'd be dancing in the rain as we speak. Time to reap what you sown, wanderer. May it be a bountiful harvest. Clock is soft, frozen on 7:06. The hands emit a faint purple glow. The stone chair is positioned tightly against the wall. In the seat sits a particular figure. Remains idle, yet you get the sense that it's watching every move you decide to make. Something rests in the hands of the figure. What do you mean? Inspect the figure. Where a tapestry hangs on, seen better days. An old painting of a man with a distorted face rests on the stone wall. His eyes appear to be plucked out from his head and rest on the table in front of him. The painting is tilted. Watcher. The fireplace rages on, yet the cobwebs around it cling tight and refuse to burn. There's no way that this fireplace could stay lit for a long period of time with the current state it's in. Someone's been here recently. Parchment hangs on the wall. It contains a list of names you never heard of. Strangely, all the names appear to be written upside down. A plaque rests on the wall with various names chiseled into it. There are only 4 names in the plaque that you can see. 3 of them are names you never heard before, and the final name is yours. Fresh fruit sits on the bowl and table beneath some tattered tapestries. The fruit seem like it was washed this morning. There's no sight of bugs or pests looming in the bowl, and no sight of rot or decay. This is it, Watcher and Wanderer. This is what you've been waiting for. Every decision has led you to this moment. Now, gaze upon the mirror and tell me what you see. A monster. Pressed against the wall sits a mystical mirror swirling with radiant magic. You can see many different images contorting themselves within the twisted nether. Would you like to look deeper into the mirror and see your reflection? Please. Near my show that have been hidden from me. Show me the weakness, show me strength, describe in detail, tell length, show me what I'm afraid to see, show me what I'm afraid to be, show me everything about you, show me why I've come to you. Yeah, I saw some Steam requests like saying, hey, don't do screen, just let a person read and they can see why. You gaze deeply into the mirror at your own reflection. What it reflects back to you are the answers you seek. Deep within the mirror, a reflection is formed and is revealed to you. The reflection of the goblet. The story of the goblet is an interesting one for many reasons. It is said that long ago there lived an old woman in the woods. She lived on her own, tucked away in a secret from the world. Her home was a cabin that she had built herself. The food she ate was harvested, foraged, and hunted for herself. And the water she drank was from the well she had dug herself. The old woman was completely successful and self-reliant, separated from the outside world. Now, as impressive as this feat was, this wasn't what the old woman was best known for. No, there was something much greater than that. She was known to possess a golden goblet of great power that was said to hold her life force and energy within it, a vessel for her very being, so to speak. One day, a man came crawling to her doorstep with bloody hands and ravaged legs. He scratched at her small wooden door, begging for aid. The woman heard his pleas for help and rose from her chair next to the fire, walked across her creaky wooden floor and answered the door gingerly. When she saw the state of her unexpected visitor, she grabbed a hold of the man and pulled him inside the cabin, sat him next to the fire and gathered water from her well and prepared food from her storage in an attempt to nurse him back to health. And he had eaten and drank until his belly was full, and he was able to talk without struggling to breathe. He told her that he had been attacked by a pack of wolves in the forest, and he had feared his legs were too damaged to continue on his journey. He also mentioned that he had to get through the woods by tomorrow evening, or else he would miss his delivery for the king and surely would be tossed into prison or worse. So the old woman went to her cupboard and reached for a prized possession, a golden goblet wrapped in silk and cloth that helped keep it hidden away. She grabbed another cup for the man and placed it within the palms of his hands. As she tilted the goblet, a mystical liquid surged forth, filling the man's cup. And the woman told the man to drink, and he obeyed. Within moments, the man's wounds fully healed had befallen him. In disbelief, the man leapt into the air, joyously celebrating the occasion and thanking the woman for it with all of his heart. The woman told the man that he must leave now if he were to make his delivery date on time, but he must not say a word to anyone about what he had transpired in the woods. The man agreed and went on his way. Not a week later, when the woman was watering her garden, a young maiden came galloping into the woman's house on horseback. She leapt from her horse and carried a child tenderly in her arms. The old woman looked puzzled until the maiden spoke. "Are you the woman of the woods? The one with the magical goblet?" came a shrill voice of an unknown visitor. The old man's heart sunk deep within her chest at the sound of the question. "My daughter is gravely ill and surely die without your aid," the maiden pleaded with tears in her eyes. The woman was so angry that the man had broken his promise and shared the secret she had kept so well hidden, that there was no time for anger and resentment in such a dire time like this. The child looked sickly and her breath was shallow. Death was nearing and they had to act quickly if they were going to save her. So the woman beckoned the maiden to her home and she retrieved the goblet once more. She grabbed a wooden cup from her cupboard and poured a mystical liquid from the goblet until the cup was full, and put it to the child's lips. As the child drank, within moments she sprung to life, happier than she had ever been. The maiden thanked the woman profusely, and all the woman said in return was this: "Do not tell anyone what transpired this day. Do not tell anyone of my goblets." The maiden agreed and promised she wouldn't. A month went by without a word from the man or the maiden. No visitors had come to the old cabin until one day, middle of winter, caravans approached. Of the caravan, sickly people flooded the ground surrounding the old woman's cabin, coughing and wheezing and begging for aid. Plague had struck, hundreds had fallen ill, and many more were dying. The old woman was so incredibly furious that the promises had been broken once again, but there was no time for anger or resentment, as people needed saving. So the woman had retrieved her goblet and gathered all of the wooden cups she had in her home, poured and poured and poured until every sickly person had been saved. Then each and every one of them disappeared into the cold winter night with a thank you and another promise of a secrecy that surely would not be kept. But only a single night later, the old woman sat alone in her cabin and began to feel feverish herself. For the plague had hit her, and she surely caught the devil's cough from those she was saving. She quickly went to her cupboard to retrieve her goblet once again, just as she had done for those she helped many times. She grabbed herself a cup and tilted the goblets above it, but this time nothing poured from the vessel. The cup had been drained all of its power, all of its use, and there was nothing left for the woman when she needed it for herself. The woman did not make it but a few hours before she fell to the ground, spewing blood from her lips as her cold, dead fingers wrapped around her empty cup, and no one had ever visited the woman in the woods ever again. The goblet of affection represents someone who pours and pours and pours from their own cup in order to fill others around them, but is quickly drained as no one seems to fill the cup in return. You must remember that you cannot pour from an empty cup. It is a wonderful thing to help others when they need it, but it might be very difficult for you to say no when someone asks for your help. But you must learn that it's okay to be selfish sometimes. As a matter of fact, you must be selfish at times, because taking time and energy for yourself is not selfish at all. It's a requirement of your own health and benefit in order to continue helping others. If you're constantly pouring from one reserve into other people's cups, until your cup is finally empty, you won't last the winter, and if you don't last the winter, you can't help anyone anymore now, can you? So don't feel guilty for saying no, and try to recognize when people are just there to take advantage of you. Remember, once the old woman had helped people and they no longer needed her assistance, they never returned. They were only there because they needed something, and if they didn't need anything from her and couldn't get anything from her, it was as if she had no longer existed. Be wary of who you say yes to, and always keep some energy reserved for yourself. You must learn to put yourself first when you truly need it, so you can continue to help others when they need it as well. Let the reflection of the goblets be a warning, as well as a blessing for you in life, and allow it to guide you toward a healthier, more sustainable future. You deserve that much for all you do, and even more. Your secret word is God. Remember this word, that it will benefit you greatly if you decide to use it. Sometimes the mirror reflects something within your soul. Sometimes the mirror reflects the reverse of what resides in your soul. Both factors have equal value. It's up to you if you interpret whether your reflection shows your reality or the reverse of it, wanderer. So pay heed and listen to my words, for the mirror never lies. I will free you from the confines of this place once and for all. You are free to do as you please from this point onward. I will wish you the best of luck on your journey forward, wanderer, for it is now time for you to do some reflecting of your very own. Discovered 6 out of the 7 deadly sins. Discovered 22 out of the 23 You discovered 18 out of 18 journal pages. You've discovered 20 out of the 21 crystal nuggets. Discovered all 7 artifacts. You discovered all 8 relics. There are far more hidden secrets left for you to uncover, but this particular journey you must end here. Your results have been based on several different variables and may vary within each playthrough depending on multiple factors. There are 5 separate endings to discover and many secret hidden throughout each room that can only be found by clever exploration. We hope you enjoyed your experience and you have learned a little more about how your brain works when scenarios and options to choose from. Take the secret word that was assigned to you at the end of this session and leave a comment for us. We will be selecting some of you based on the answers to be included in a future project we're currently working on choosing to which you can find on Steam. It's not been released yet. Meantime, we'd like to recommend our title called The Advisor to you. We feel like it provides a great opportunity for player developer interaction and allows players to cast their votes on where the story should head. It's a choices matter style of never been done before, as you, the player, are responsible for how the story is written in future episodes. We'll also be taking your name from your comments and placing it in credits for our upcoming RPG title, as a thank you for participating and support. We really truly appreciate you and look forward to reading your words and thoughts. If you left your secret word for us on other titles, we read your feedback and it's has helped us construct this project as well as other titles that we're currently developing. We will always read our comments we get, won't go unnoticed. Support us, so obviously play the other games. Yeah, even if you leave comments in other games, they'll be used. Thank you. Very special shout out to Mark and his community for supporting us through the other titles. It's really meant so much for longtime fans, and the amount of joy you bring to the rest of the world throughout your content and your community support is second to none. Thank you for being you, and we really hope to get to punching at some point in the future. We want to wish you all the best in the future endeavors, and may your life be flooded with happiness you deserve. If you go to the title screen and click on our other games, you'll find a link to Markiplier's new Raging Ace in Space with Markiplier appearing on April 4th, 2022. Mark some love and support as he's continuously doing project for free. So, which it's released a month and a few weeks ago, which I figure out because he released a link to a thing that I still don't know the password to. Be free to check out our other titles if you wish to support us further. There is love and appreciate support and help us a ton. And there's all the credits for all the different things. For the creators and music and sound and whatnot. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a good day, night, week, month of your lives, and I hope you finally seeing the end of the testing chamber. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Ta-ta!